I do too.
Hey, we're back. We're in a new location. If you've noticed or anything, I think this might be a permanent home.
Maybe, yeah.
It's my favorite part of the house, actually. Kind of a room that I enjoy. So, okay. We got pizza flour on me. So last time we were talking about kind of foundations of things that make people successful. We talked about nonverbal communication. How'd it go this week? Did you try eye contact and smiling and open posture and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Did people respond differently that you noticed, or
A little bit.
a little bit? Okay, good. So I was thinking kind of along other lines of what makes people successful, and two things came to mind, and I think they go together. One is kind of the ability to show empathy, and the other one is based upon that empathy, kind of understanding the main concept of an activity and what I can do to contribute to that to make sure that I'm being helpful and that sort of thing. So, and I think we've kind of touched on empathy before because I think it's an important concept. When you think of empathy, what do you think of?
Yeah, I think of, being in other people's shoes,
Yeah, I think that's a really good definition. That ability to get outside of yourself and your perspective and think about something from somebody else's perspective. And I think that could be kind of understanding what their thoughts might be, and then most importantly, what their feelings are, so that you can behave appropriately in regard to that. And that was kind of a piece of what we talked about with nonverbal communication, that people's eyes, their mouth, their facial features, their voice tone, how they move, all give you clues as to how they're feeling. And I think when you're empathic, people have a sense that you care. You're interested in them. And it's always, I think, a way to get your point across, communicate, and just be kind, a kind person. That was the sermon on Sunday about just be kind. And I think empathy is a big piece of that. So if we take that empathy, understanding what somebody might be thinking or feeling, mostly feeling, and we then transfer that into a functional situation about how do I know the best thing to do in this moment to be helpful maybe to somebody else or to not be a hindrance. Kind of like if somebody is sad, understanding that, if somebody was sad, how could you respond to them?
Could, try to cheer them up.
You try to cheer them up. Sometimes if somebody's really sad, it's hard to cheer them up. They don't want to be cheered up. And you can just kind of be with them in that moment. And I think next time we'll talk about verbal communication with that. How do you be with somebody in the moment and that kind of thing. So what I was meaning by kind of understanding how to respond in the situation, we were talking before about if you're at a funeral, if you're going to be empathic, what do you suspect other people might be feeling at a funeral?
Just like very upset.
Sad, because they're dealing with a sense of loss. And if I think about, this is interesting because societies and cultures are different. In our country, what's your thinking? Why do we have funerals? What's the function or purpose of that activity?
Just to remember the people who
remember that person's life, celebrate their life, recognize the importance of their life, and grieve the loss of that person. So probably then, knowing that, what kind of an occasion is it? Is it a
sad?
Kind of a serious, somber kind of situation, so that in that moment, probably, I always think I'm there to honor someone else. I don't want to call attention to myself. myself. And to me, that's really important, knowing the situation and how to behave, which is based on how what other people are thinking and feeling, but also what's the function of that activity. Going to school, the function of your classroom is what?
To learn.
To learn. And so I think always being able to be aware that if the function is to learn, I have to make sure that I'm quiet or at least attentive or not disruptive. Because, teachers are not very tolerant of that, are they? All right, empathy, and then how that translates into knowing the right thing to do. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
Okay.
put yourself in people's shoes and
Pretty good. All right, are we done?
yeah.
Yeah, peace out.
What's up?